I heard about it.
Because Dorian said, and I'll start with this. Dorian said the offensive line taking on a little bit of your personality. I asked Chris, he made a joke. Do you see that though? You see them taking on a little bit of your personality?
A little bit here and there, certain things. You know, you get a group of 4 or 5 guys like the O&D line is. They'll take on the traits, they take on the toughness, the grit, that type of stuff you want. But you also want them all to be themselves. You know, that's the fun part. Different personalities.
Is this group, and not saying anything about last year's group, but is this group a little? I guess I'm going to use the word nasty, and I mean it in a good way. Is this group a little nastier? They have a little more edge, whether it's Jonah or Vanesky?
Yeah, and I think it's a majority of them are younger guys. You know, it's not, hey, this is the end of my career, or not in a bad way, but hey, this isn't my last go-round. So you got a guy like Dorian, who is the only one that's done after this year, who every day is asking questions. Coach, how do I get more vertical? Why am I getting flattened out? How do I fit? If he's that way, that's really what you want. You want your group to reflect your seniors. You know, and your 2 or 3 seniors should reflect kind of what your coach is trying to get out of the group.
What do you see at right guard right now?
I tell you what, it's been really a lot of fun. You got a young one in Nick Crimmin who's doing some things. Consistency, just being a new guy. You know, you get down, it's easier when you get down if you haven't played much. Vanesky really brings that, you know, grinder personality. And then I'm telling you, I've been really, really happy with Marcus Applefield coming back after not being out in the spring. It's really, really been impressive. So, you know, I'd say him and Vanesky just because of the experience, but Marcus is doing really good right now.
Jerry talked about quarterback. He wants to have the decision, you know, sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
He wants everyone to know who the quarterback is. Is it the same way with right guard? Could that
Yeah,
go to like the end of camp?
No, you want guys to know, and I feel pretty good with where we're at. I want to go another day or 2, but you want a guy to know, hey, I'm playing next to you. I want Kamal to know who's playing next to me, Jonah who he's talking to, because we're going to have 5 starters, but we better have 1 or 2 that are able to roll throughout a game, because if it is, you know, Crimmin's a young guy, to get him 5 or 7 snaps, that's how Kamal started last year. You know, he moved over about this time. He got like 5 snaps in the first game. Got like 7 after that. By game 6, he was able to start for us. And so to bring some of these guys along, you just got to get. You never want a guy out there for his early gun shy.
How has Kamal progressed?
Kamal plays so much smoother right now. You know, there's some of the offensive side of football IQ, but he can get up, teach our protections. He can teach stuff in our meeting. His technique is still constantly evolving. But as far as assignments, understanding offense, his biggest one is now he's starting to communicate, which up there, that's so critical. Because everybody might know what they're doing, but if we're not all saying it, you're wondering if the guy next to you really is on or not. And that communication's good.
Does it help him to have a guy like Cole who, and project has a negative connotation, but same kind of thing, whereas Kamal came from defense to offense, Cole was kind of a guy who had to learn how to be
no doubt. No doubt. Was not a guy that had played tackle before. Yeah, it's very similar. They both originally are out of there still. Sorry, the fun of it right now is schematically they're starting to talk about safeties and shell and protection. It's not just I'm staring at the guy. You know, the blinders are starting to come off and we're seeing big picture football.
AJ, the guardian caps, what does that do for your linemen?
I'll tell you this, as I ask them, because I never had them, I don't know, I'm out there banging. Half of them say they can really tell the difference, that's all I care. They think it's better. The other half, they think it's kind of a nuisance the way they fit, but so it's half and half. But if you got guys thinking they're less shot, that's what you want.
You like the concept of it for safety and all the other stuff?
I do. You know, it's those linemen, it's a bang every play. You know, it's not the one big shot that really gets concussions. It's the O&D line gets the majority of them. You just get tired and it's bang, 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 a repetitive hitting.
How's Jonah handling this?
Tell you what, man, he's playing like a veteran right now. You can get out and get after him. He's not going to quiver and cower. He's ready to go. He's a guy that, if I could have gone back and played a little more last year, because he's got a confidence about him. He's got an air. He's a guy that he hangs out with our receivers and DBs and linebackers. He hangs out with everybody on the team. So when you talk about a guy that's coming up, that you're really excited about having influence in our program, he's a guy. And he's really maturing off the field, which is awesome.
You mentioned wanting to play more guys than just 5.
Yeah.
Who are you looking at as 3rd, 4th tackle?
You know, guys right now that are playing well. Mike Lonsdorf's playing a little bit of both sides. Obviously, physically has to keep coming, but is a guy that is very smart. And there's 3 big signs in our room: smart, tough, dependable. And it really goes that way. You can't go in there and you can be the best player ever. If you can't go right and left with the right cues, you can't play and help us. And so he's a smart kid. He is tough. He's a physical kid. He wants to be physical. He just is still developing from that end.
AJ, what have you seen out of Sam Fretman?
Sam is a physical sucker now. He could probably end up as a guard at the end of his career maybe. He's got the feet to play tackle, But his mentality is he's put his claws on you and he's go. I mean, we had guys finish yesterday with no pads on. He's taking it. I mean, you got to pull the chain on him a little bit. That being said, as a young guy, that football IQ is still, we got to grow with it. But I see him being a guy to help us probably right now.
Micah Clark, his first year, what's the expectation?
Yeah, tough thing with Mike. Mike got a concussion first day out, so he was out a little bit. But he's getting back in the mix of things, and he's doing well now, and he's rolling. So he's our one guy out of the whole team who's had any issues with from that end. And it was before the Guardian Caps even went on. So he's just getting back in the swing of things. It's going to take a while to find out.
Thanks,
Coach.